All right, let's face it. In high school, we all had that one English teacher. Well, that English teacher is me. I'm Brian Kulak, a career educator and author of The Hot Seat. Every week, I reconnect with former students, colleagues, and fascinating people to explore who they were, who they are now, and the wisdom they've gained along the way. Welcome to The Hot Seat. Hey, what is up, Hot Seaters? Grab a beverage of choice as I just did and settle in for this episode, which is a bit unique because it's going to combine friendship, family, and a student relationship. So a little unique. So this guest, I'm trying to do this like smartless, so I'm trying to tease it for a while. So this is about a tale of friendship in reverse, right? So I first met him years and years ago, long before he was in my class, as a precocious, funny, and frankly, way cooler version of his two older brothers. So I spent a lot of time with him, and a lot of time that was spent in a way that a eventual teacher probably shouldn't. So we're talking horseshoes and poker and drinking beers and playing video games. And then he all of a sudden showed up in my class, which I knew was coming. And I don't know how he did it from that point on. It must have been hard for him to keep all the secrets in the closet, the bodies that were buried close at hand, and he did not disappoint. And since then, he's just one of my favorite people, and he's one of my best friends. His oldest brother was the best man at my wedding. He still is one of my best friends. His cousin is one of the best people in my life. He served in an uncle role for my kids. So this is a unique one. We haven't had one of these before. There he is.
Hey,
Look at this guy. Look how handsome. I mean, my goodness.
I mean,
What a glow up from 2002.
let's not worry about me. Let's talk about that sultry voice.
Yeah, the voice. I didn't know about the voice until I got divorced. Like, I had no idea
Yeah.
my
I
voice was a
mean,
thing. Are
I'm
you okay with it?
pretty sure Rebecca's requesting one of those nighttime things, like you can
All
just
right.
talk to people to sleep.
Yeah, we'll do one of those for Rebecca specifically.
Yeah, be perfect.
So this is Ryan Phillippi, not to be confused with Ryan Phillippi. Different pronunciation, different life, but just as handsome. Look at this
Really?
guy, Ryan Phillippi, class of 2002. A lot to talk about, much of which we have to tiptoe or tap dance around.
Yeah.
We talked about that in the pre-show conversation. But as you probably know, although you may not because you're not an Instagram guy, every show starts with a simple question, which is, who were you back then and who are you now? Tell the people who don't know who you are.
Well, I'm actually gonna throw this as like a wow, that's an amazing line, but it came from your book, and then she was a guest.
Hmm.
But making people small for the
Oh,
wow.
Chrissy. Yeah, Chrissy Dustman.
That I'm gonna say that was a lot of me.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, there was so a lot of it was like I think I was like, and again, even as I am as I'm always a people pleaser. So it was
100%.
like for
I get
me, it
that.
was like always growing up is always like I never enjoyed when people for some reason didn't like me. That's like
That's a lot
you
of us,
know,
dude. That's not just you. That's a
yeah,
lot
and
of
it's like,
people.
but
Yeah.
wait, I'm like, am I that? I've been coming to you with like, cool, I'm not that bad of a guy, am I? Like,
Right.
and you're like,
Right.
yeah, I mean, you're all right, but you know, but uh, you know, it's just one of those things where it always bothered me, and honestly, it's like that's how I live my life all the time. It's I always worried too much about everybody else
Right.
and what
Right.
they cared about, and then you know, but I think I always I did enjoy school, and I was very bored by it though.
I
And we
think
can
you were
get
good. I think you were good at the game of school. I think you knew because you're
yeah,
so charismatic. I think you knew what you had to do to get by and do the
yeah,
next thing, right? I think that
yeah,
was totally you. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And I think it's what like I actually had to feel like I needed to because I usually felt bored. And I
Yeah.
will say that again, like English, hard,
Not your
super
thing.
super difficult, and that
Yeah.
just came from. Well, as I learned older, when I got older, I have blazing. The ADHD is just through the roof.
I've never
just,
heard blazing as the
just,
adjective for
just through the
ADHD.
roof. I mean,
Yeah.
it's awful, and I never noticed it. But it's like You know, it's funny. I look back at the Mr. Audubon video from
Yeah,
our graduating year.
yeah,
Anybody who has that video, maybe three people, but go to that video, and it's I can't even keep still on the
yeah,
stage.
yeah,
Like I'm just like antsy. And that's not nervous. I was ready. I was in
yeah,
everybody's freaking thing in there,
yeah,
but it's just how I was. I mean, growing older, I have learned, and I've learned like hard ways, real hard ways, and just worry about the people who worry, like who matter most to you.
right,
And
right.
it's seriously so easy to know that when you get
Yeah,
older.
yeah,
Like
it
it's
is.
really
Yep.
easy.
Yeah,
You
but
start
but
to,
here's the thing, like, I guess and this is a revelation to me because I didn't know that about you. Like,
yeah,
you, your personality to me was always magnetic. Like, people always wanted to be around you. And
yeah,
here I am, so much older than you, older than your oldest brother,
mhm,
same age as your older brother, and yet you and I connected like it was a little brother situation for
yeah,
so long. But my impression of you for so long was just that you're charismatic. People like you. You make people feel safe and make people feel comfortable. And there was never a time where people were like, oh man, here comes Ryan. Like I don't want to. Like, there's just not a that.
yeah,
So, and we talked about this offline, but like we miss you. Like our group of friends that were together for so long
yeah,
miss hanging out. You had mentioned, trying to get back into the game now that your girls are a little older, which we'll get
yeah,
into later.
yeah,
But I think you were a bit of a glue guy. Like, I think you when you were around, even though you were younger than all of us,
yeah,
there was a comfort. You just kind of held things together, especially because your oldest brother Lou, who I mentioned in the opening, is one of the best friends, the best man at my wedding. He
sure,
is not you.
yeah.
Your personality is so much different than both your
We have
brothers.
it's funny you think about all the brothers of the Philippi's, we're very similar, or not
Yeah,
very, very different.
you're very
And
different.
like it's
Very.
really kind of crazy.
It is. But
Yeah.
you being last makes sense because you had two templates ahead of you.
Yeah.
But you, like, even just as a young scamp running around the horseshoe pits or whatever,
Yeah.
like, there was never a time when you felt like a little brother. So I'm surprised to hear
Yeah.
you say that I guess I'm not surprised to hear you say you're a people pleaser, but I'm surprised to hear you talk about that as something that you want to kind of shed now. Like, that's a
Yeah,
big
it
deal.
is,
Yeah.
and it's maybe that's the again I've been talking to you about how I've finally recently like kind of gone to therapy, and I'm very open about it, and it's been one of those things where like I just wish I always did that. It was
Yeah.
it's always a thing like therapy. It made
Right.
you
Right.
weak, not
Yep.
weak at all. I
Not at
I
all.
feel
No.
stronger than I ever have, because really mental strength is really the biggest thing you need.
Yeah, I mean, I think like this is
Um,
week 14 of the show, and I got to tell you, I'd guess between 8 and 10 of them therapies come up. I didn't
yep,
intend for that,
sure, no,
but ultimately, when I think about the hot seat, it was like mini therapy sessions, depending
yep,
on the question you got and the group that
yeah,
you were with. Um, your group in 2002 was so fun, but I was so ill-equipped to be your teacher, which we'll get into in the next segment. But like,
yeah,
it was it was a really fun group of people that I look back on fondly. And I say that every show, but each class, right, has its own personality, right? Like,
absolutely.
they're all Audubon people, but you had mentioned in the pre-show, like, what'd you say, 2001, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4? There
Yeah.
was like just a group of people that just hung together. Like,
I mean, everyone is still, you see it, like, you can go and like see a summer barbecue. It's a
right,
cluster of these grades, and it's just, we all click. I mean,
yeah,
fantasy football leagues, all of it. It's just a
right,
cluster of these. And that's just how Audubon is. It's
yeah,
crazy.
that's true. Yeah.
When I tell
Is
people
your
all
movie
that,
club that way?
what's that?
Is your movie club that way? Is it mostly your boys from high
Actually,
school?
that whole movie club thing is all my Haddon like friends who
Okay,
meet from
okay,
Haddon Heights, which is
right.
just an ironic friendship in itself, too. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
they
yeah.
came from my friend Todd's friends, and then I became
Right.
friends, and that's here we are.
But
Um,
again, there you go. Like, your friends were like your brother's friends became your friends, and I can do without your brothers. I think a lot of us can do without your brothers. I mean,
Yeah. All right. Well,
Todd
hey.
sent me a message on the side. He's like, "Well, you got the best of the three of us anyway." I'm like, "I'm not gonna. I don't want you and your brother. I don't want you and Lou." All right, let's jump ahead. So
Yeah.
this is a question I don't know if we've ever really talked about. I don't know how you held it together. I don't know how you kept things that you knew that were more adult, and I'm not talking salacious stuff, but just
Sure.
like you knew stuff about me and our group of friends because I was at your house all the time until
Yeah.
late for whatever
Yeah.
reason. How did was it a heavy lift to like flip the switch to accept me as your teacher? Because I don't know if I could have done it, man.
I honest to God, and this is a really weird thing because when I look back at it, like you're no looking back at it, it's pretty crazy that I was just so like, wow, he didn't give me a lick of an issue.
Yeah, yeah,
Why would I?
yeah.
What? There's no, like that's just out of respect. I
No, that's
mean, first of
true.
all, you're
That's
my
true.
brother's best friend.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not even he never even made a mention. I mean, if anything, we Lou, you probably would have been like, dude, give him a bunch of crap. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's not what I would have done. The thing of it is that like, you pulled me aside first day of school.
Did
And
I?
I don't know if you remember
I
100%.
don't. No, I
Yeah.
don't.
What first day of school, we just went through the whole motions of a first day, which is nothingness.
Yeah.
And at the end of the class, you're like, right, can I just see you real quick? And you just pull me outside. You're like, listen, I know there's a lot, like, and it's like, I mean, realistically, all it was clearly you're doing your due diligence of, hey, I was at your house drinking. We shared beers together.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
listen, I mean, this is what it is. My brother was watching me and over the weekend,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
everything was nothing was crazy. Nothing was about it. We
No, no, no,
played,
no.
You don't know Jack till 5 a.m., but
I was gonna,
that's
I was gonna bring that up. That was our thing, me and you, because
it's
no
the
one else did
funniest
that.
story ever. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone, your friends went to like another party or an after
Yeah.
party, and you're like, I, I
I
think
can
I'm going to
stand
hang
by.
here at Rye Guy and play some You Don't Know Jack till 4 a.m.
It's so
What?
true, and it was like 4 a.m. And the
4 a.m.
question,
You were
you were
going to Ireland
so
the next day.
what?
Where'd you guys? This is ridiculous. I know
Oh,
this. I'm
Ireland!
pretty
I
sure you
was
were
going to Ireland
going on
next
a
day.
vacation. You're like,
I was.
you should be going, and you're like,
I
ah. I was
was.
like,
Yeah, but that's back. When you're 21,
well, of
you
course, you
can
just
go
slept on a
right.
plane. What?
But dude, you're so right. Like I think everybody left, and in my head, I was like, well, I can't go out because I got to wake up. But then I was with you
Yeah, I'm
playing. You
just
don't know
playing with
Jack.
myself, and you're just kind of like,
Oh
hey,
my
man.
god, that is. I remember that night so vividly, and I shouldn't because of the drinking. But like,
Oh, it's
I
ridiculous,
remember
though.
where we sat. I remember that little
Yeah.
alcove room right inside the door of
Yep.
your mom's house. And
Yep.
we played like it was the greatest things to ever come because that was
That's it.
before there was no PlayStation, right? There was no
That's it.
Xbox
That
back
was
then.
the PC, and they had these games, and you're like,
Yeah,
Mom had this new job that
it was
working
it.
all
Yep,
these, and we're like, what is this? Trivia games.
yep.
It was just like we were having a
It
blast.
was so fun. It was
Yeah.
so fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, did your boys give you a hard time about knowing me and like, dude, was
Honestly,
it
I
was it
mean,
a
well, like
weird
in
like?
school, no, it wasn't even weird. Like they were like, "Oh, is that?" I mean, it's funny because they definitely tried to like dig, I guess, for something, and I
Yeah,
wasn't
of
playing that
course.
game. I
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
What like dig for what? I
Well, there
mean,
wasn't that much, dude. At that point, I was
let's
like,
see. He was in college and he drank a lot of beers.
yeah. And at that point, I think, I was in, let me think about this. I was probably still either with or in love with my college girlfriend, or I was just getting over that breakup.
Sure,
So there wasn't a whole lot
there
to
wasn't anything like
pick from.
crazy.
Yeah,
Nothing. It was
but I
just
get it. If you're a high school kid, you
boys
got
playing
this
horseshoes.
right, like playing horseshoes,
Yeah.
hanging a dip once in a while, having
I
some
mean, those
beers.
Philippi pits were pretty nice for a few years
They were
there. Real
really,
nice
really
stretch,
nice. It was
real
a
crisp.
great backyard, dude. Jump in
Yeah,
the pool, jump out.
absolutely. Right.
So I really thought your boys would have, but that's interesting that they didn't. I think you're right about a couple of things I keep hearing, which you had mentioned is like, even though there was such a small gap between our ages, like when I started, my brother was a junior,
Yeah.
and then he was supposed to be in my class as a senior. um, but I think, and then someone else said this, I forget who it was, but I think because I was from Audubon, it helped me big time. If I was a young teacher coming out of nowhere and you happen
I
to know me,
that's
yeah, I
tough.
think it was I think
I
there was
think
some
you're in
protection.
your comfort zone. I mean,
Yeah,
it made you feel better. But I got to tell you, I mean, I can't speak for everyone. The way you taught though, you brought everyone in.
yeah.
You made me. I'm not even going to say you weren't the first one though, but my junior and senior teachers were the best English teachers, and they
Who's that
made me
junior?
Colazo.
Oh man.
And let me tell you, that guy's an absolute legend.
Yeah,
He
pour one
he
out
was
for him. That's
fantastic.
so sad. Yeah.
But both of you were like, it's like I always said, like you kind of reinvented things. You made things fun. I'm gonna lie, Shakespeare, snoozer.
Yeah, but do you
Just
remember the
saying.
Hamlet video? Right, the Hamlet
But
perform. I will never
that's what I'm
forget
saying. Like
how
you made that fun.
how hard I laughed
Yeah.
when you were doing like it's in my head. I will never forget. I couldn't stop laughing because you were so funny during that. Did we do like a
Uh,
live performance in the classroom or was it a video? I don't remember.
I think it
I think it
was.
was in the classroom. I
Yeah, it
think
was
you
the
guys had to
classroom.
act something
Yeah.
out.
It was the classroom. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so
It
funny.
was just, yeah, that's the stuff that sticks with you. But I
Yeah,
mean, there's literally not 1 ounce. I mean, a lot of English teachers made it difficult. I mean, you're reading books from 80 some years ago.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't relate at all to what's
Right.
going on, and you're like,
Yeah,
but you like somehow even you brought some of these old books, and you're like, you kind of made it current. You made it fresh.
yeah,
You had new approaches, and you really helped people like me who like,
yeah,
I mean, senior year especially, like for
yeah. Of
goodness
course.
sakes.
Yeah.
But senior year, and it wasn't even just because I knew you and cool X class. It's like I actually enjoyed English class. I was like, who
Well,
am
I
I?
appreciate it, and I have to tell you, Rye, like I think about this a lot for not just people like you, but mostly you, because I think you're the most specific example of a friend who became a student.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's really not one like you, but I think to myself all the time, like, what would have happened if you decided to go the other way?
Now it
And,
went
and
went
no, no,
total
no, I know you
rogue
wouldn't,
and
but
just
I'm thinking as a professional, I'm like 23, right?
yeah,
What would have happened if you're like, fuck this guy. I'm not going to listen to this guy. I'm going to
yeah,
tell. I don't know how I would respond because there's no defense. Like you would have been right to say that
yeah,
I hung out with this, and
yeah,
again, that you were not 21,
yep,
but we were in your mom's house, blah, blah,
sure,
blah.
yeah,
Um, so I think about that a lot. There's a lot like I got really close with Eves. Remember Dave
yeah,
Eves and I were
yeah,
really tight at Modio.
yep,
And then Christy Worm, who's now kind of part of our circle again because of
sure,
Mark and Katie Worm. There's just a lot of you I think could have gone a different way. I'm glad you didn't. I think you're right to say that I made a I don't forget the conversation totally, but I
yeah,
think my 23-year-old self was smart to pull you aside, like, dude, you got to do me a
yeah.
solid here, man. Yeah, you got to take
That's
care of
being a
me.
young man who's like
Yeah.
and listen, you were probably a little nervous about
Oh,
it. I mean,
heck yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
after your brother, which your brother, your brother could give you
Yep.
crap, whatever, but
Yep.
after your brother, I might have been the next most
You're right.
unique person to you.
You're right. Yep.
Because this is like whoa, and it's then you look at factors like what if you and my brother were having
Had a
an
falling out.
absolute
Yeah.
falling
Had a
out
falling
and you
out. Yeah.
hated each other,
Yeah. Yeah.
or might follow my brother in this
Of
point,
course you
and
would.
then
Yeah.
that would have been horrible. But it's, I
Yeah.
mean,
That's a good point. Um, Now, just to transition to, what might be tougher for you, and feel free to not, talk about this, but
sure,
you do have a little bit of black cloud. Your friend group is really tight,
yeah,
which we talked about last week with John Dyer, and this has come up several times where, like, and Sherry Wilson a couple weeks ago, we saw
hmm,
them at a Dave concert. Like, there's a group of you that are all together, which makes me so proud because
yeah,
my best friends are from high school and plus Mark from college,
sure,
but you lost two of them.
yeah,
That's not that's not supposed to happen,
no,
before your age.
no.
How did you specifically and your group of friends, how did you get through it? Like, I've never done, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I
It's
would deal with it. How did you do it? How did you get through it?
I mean, if you want to like the first one, being Mike,
Yeah.
that was a full blown shock to the system. I mean, he was always really busy with his work. He did railroad, he did always busy. But then it's like when he finally popped his head back, it's like, oh my God, you're back. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was tough. That was tough because me and him, especially, like, Mike and I, we never really got along much in high school. People always I never realized, but people called us the arch nemesis
I didn't know that.
because and what they did is because they were like, you guys are never together at the same night, at the same party. You guys were never there, but you guys were acting the exact same. And you
Yeah.
guys were like the same personality. But it was like, wait, why are these two people never together?
Right.
And then it just became that friend. But then
Yeah.
we grew older and it was like, all of a sudden, it's like all of our friends worked at UPS, like every one of them.
Right.
So we're both doing our union jobs. We're just done. And we're like twiddling our thumbs at night. And he's like,
Yeah.
I mean, do you want
Should
to
we hang
just
out?
go get some beers and get some?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we were
Yeah.
like doing this, and we're like, this feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
just, I mean, that's how it did. And then we just sparked a bigger friendship. And then what happened with him? Total shock. And
See,
it
that's
blew
that's not
it blew the doors off of us. I mean, it was. I remember getting the call from Brian Wilson, and I mean, I basically like screamed at Rebecca, like
yeah.
at a, I'm like, what is happening? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we all got together at a
Yeah.
house, and I mean, it was bad. We got together every night. I think for maybe 2 weeks, like just every night got
How
together.
many people were part of that crew?
Oh, it was a solid. I mean, in grade ranges was crazy, but like, I mean, it was a solid 25 people. Maybe
Wow.
it was just a chunk of people there. I mean, maybe that
Right.
first night was a little long, but I mean, then you had some of his closest friends,
Right.
um, who were there like from childhood,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
McCauslands were like, we're
Yeah.
hanging out with
Yeah.
McCauslands, and I'm like, this is
Right.
awesome. No, this is exactly what he would want right now.
Right.
And it's just, that was great.
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, there's so many things like songs. I mean, music brings us all
Yeah. Of
together. I
course. Of
mean,
course. Yeah.
music, I'll sit there and I just like get a little choked up. It's
Of
like,
course. Yeah. Yeah.
God damn it, Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, you know, and then with Kev, I mean, Kev was the best man at my wedding.
Yeah.
Like he
Right.
brought me in. I moved from to Chelsea. He moved. He brought me into his house. Lived there
Right.
for a year until Rebecca and I got our own place.
Right.
I mean, that dude do everything for me. He was an amazing person.
Right.
He obviously he struggled
Yeah.
from Mike, and that was
Yep.
he was. Yeah, a
Oh,
lot of
he
times they'll
struggled
say
from
it.
Mike.
Yes,
You think there's a tie between
he
Mike?
had. I mean, it's not. I don't want to say, but
No.
there was
No.
some things he used to do, but it was not where he went.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's not what
Yeah.
he's.
Yeah.
And I think it just got bad. And I mean, he did try. He tried a lot of times. I talked to his sister.
Yeah. Of course. I talked to Lauren too. Yeah. Yeah.
It's he really tried, and it's just a shame because we've all I'm gonna say we all a lot of us have dealt with this, and it's tough because like when these people, and then when they're dealing with their issues. He wasn't Kev.
Yeah.
No, he
Yeah.
wasn't, and it's like I wanted every bit of it to be Kev, and I'm just like, oh my, it's just it wasn't,
Yeah.
and that becomes even harder. But you
Yeah.
still think you're still having this hope,
Yeah.
and then you just got that news, and it's like my heart just drops.
So like I think when I heard about both of them, it's hard for me to compartmentalize like where kids are. Like that 2009 class. I don't know how much you know about this, but
Yeah,
they lost a lot of people. It was a really
there was
bizarre. It's
there
really
was
bizarre, man.
yeah,
And I have some really close ties to that class. But
yep,
so when I heard about both those guys, I was like, wait, I gotta. For me, I didn't teach Mike, but I did Kev, and like when you're removed, like so many of us are from your friend
hmm
group, like I just could not wrap my head. I had no idea about the issue, whatever.
yeah,
But that brings me to this point, which is how often we don't know. Like
yep,
about my brother's struggles and like
sure,
how he struggled, and his life is
sure.
completely different now, and he is a
I
cautionary tale, and he figured it out, and I could not be more proud of him or love
Yeah,
him more.
let's real quick. I'm gonna cut to that real quick because seeing him at your book
That yeah,
signing,
at the signing, yeah.
I've never hugged a man that hard in my life. I don't think. Like that was so like
Well,
I was so happy seeing him a good man. I love your brother. I always
there's
loved your
two
brother.
people.
Like
You and Gaff, I think, are the two people I think never kind of gave up on him, and
yeah,
um, I mean, we can do a whole episode about my brother.
sure.
I'm gonna get emotional, but anyway, yeah, I'm thinking about losing him to this. Like you talked about not Kevin not being Kevin. I know
You
it's
know it.
not the
You
same
know what I'm
human
talking
being at
about.
all. It's not even
It's
the
always
same
a
human.
tough subject to bring up, even publicly, as anyone can read it. It's tough,
It is.
but you know it, and
Yep.
you want, and every bit of you wants that person to be the person, and you're
Yep.
just you
Yep.
know it
Yep.
sucks.
So the back end of the question is like, so that all happened.
Yep.
You all got together and you rallied, which
Yeah.
you're supposed to do. So what's the back end of that? Like, where are you now? Do you guys do a thing every year, or do you just like
Honestly,
what's the
I was a little more surprised if we don't. I mean, there's no technical like thing that we
okay?
do. We did like the 1 year after, because he always wanted to do the polar plunge.
Hmm.
So we all did the polar plunge in
It's
Sea
amazing,
Isle, which was
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
We did exactly like stupid crap that he would do. Like I cut jean shorts like way up
I
high,
mean, come on,
wore
that's
Tim's,
hilarious.
just stupid
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
looked like a ridiculous construction worker with high shorts that he would laugh
Yep.
his ass off. Like that's what we
That's
did. Like
that's amazing. Yep.
and it was great day. A lot of the times, really anymore, I'd say like we always bring him up, and it's always like the way he always did it. You might not see him for months, but then it was like when it was Memorial Day, when it was 4th of July, that
You
man
got
was
after
there.
it.
That
You got
man was
after it.
there, and
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
getting after it, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like our zoo, zoos back in the day. It
Yep.
was
It's
just
exactly who it
where's
reminds me
I
of.
haven't seen zoos in a while. Ah, there it is.
Yep.
It's crushing
Yep.
it all with till to the end of the night.
Yep. Yep.
That's it sucks when you lose your soldiers like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Well,
I
let me say here, like, if that happened to you, and I won't name, just to keep there's a relative of yours that is could not be closer to me.
Mhm.
If that happened to him, I don't know if I would bounce back, man.
Oh,
Like I don't know how you guys. That's my point. Like I don't know how you guys do.
yeah,
We our friend group lost Bo,
yeah,
but we were Bo's group. We were just at the golf outing last week.
hmm,
He had so many friends, and we were
yep.
like the tangential friends, and I was the one who held it together. But it's not the same as yours. So I
No,
don't know
it is a
how.
different. Like, there's still
Yeah,
that little bit of the honor. There's that little, and there's
yeah,
just,
yeah. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
it's tough way
Yeah.
to say it, but it's the way it is.
No, it is. You're right. So thank you for being honest about that. I tiptoed around talking about it. I figured you'd be okay with it because you love
I'm
those guys so
totally
much. And
okay, man. My thing is, like, I wish every day that, like, my girls could have seen Kev, could have
right.
met Kev. Like, you want to
Yep.
talk about guys that would have been like
Yeah.
awesome fake uncles, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
they
Yep.
would have been them.
That's a really good segue, Ryan. We'll do this, and we'll get into your question. So, you have double trouble. You got double duty every single
Sure
day.
do.
So,
Yeah.
Rye's got twins.
Mhm.
They're how old now? 8.
8, yeah.
Yep. So, what's dad life like for you after everything we just talked about, right? So, kind of partying, kind of being everybody's
Yeah.
friend, losing some friends, and now you have to kind of shift into being
Yeah.
a husband and a dad. Tell us about that.
I mean, honestly, there's still, I think it's always a transitional period. I feel like if you're never, like, everything's always changing. Your kids are
Right.
changing.
Yep.
Like, Rebecca and I think we've always had to learn where it's like, listen, we really need to start focusing on each other. Like, it's
Yep.
very easy to
I
lose
can
each other.
imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
Very, and then here comes the sports, school, third grade becomes more, a little more to,
Third grade's the biggest jump in elementary school for
yeah.
sure.
So,
Yep. It
you
is.
just, and it's like, we have to just, simple things. You and I talk about, man, us guys, we never get together
We got to
anymore.
get
What do we
together.
do? We
Yeah.
get together and we have beers once a month.
Yeah.
Turns out Rebecca and I, we need to do that same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to go out and just go have some happy hour once a
100%.
month. I
Yep.
mean, because otherwise, what are we doing? Are we business
Right.
partners or
Right.
spouses?
Right. Right. Yep.
And yeah, I mean, twin life, one kid, 3 kids. It's busy, and
Yeah. Yeah.
but and you start to like, I will. The best part about, and maybe it's just that core when it comes to like being the Audubon guy and just being in these small towns, like if I don't see them for 9 months, I
Ah.
can just roll right in and fine. But that's the way it is. My
Yeah.
my life, like, I go home and I want to go hang. We go hang with the kids. We go play out football
Yeah.
out.
See, you're always doing. Yeah. You're always
That's
doing
what
stuff.
we're doing. That's
Yeah.
when I don't know how to shut it off sometimes, and that's fine. But it's in the ways where the guys come in and say, "Come on, let's come out." So we go out.
Yeah.
It's a busy life. You have to. It's a hard balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a harder balance. This is recently learned. I was my recent employer, who I was before Virtua.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time. For a handful of years. I mean,
Really.
I don't tell anyone that. That's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that's just, to me, I'm always gonna be like, it's a great job. But it was just brutal. I mean,
Yeah.
and it took a hard, like, I got laid off in the spring, but that was a very hard, like, whoa. And then me, I'm like, why? But
Right. Right.
in the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm done caring about why. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care. And I called Virtua back, and they took me right back immediately. Which, again, like, my confidence went to the trash can,
Yeah.
and the fact that they brought me back within weeks was like,
Yeah.
okay, I did something right there that they brought me
Yep.
back that
Yep.
quickly.
Yep.
So yeah, I was like, man, we could have used you like months ago. I'm like,
Yeah.
wish you would have called me. You know what I mean? One of
Yeah. Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's that kind of stuff really can weigh, and people don't talk about that enough too. But like, you really have to be happy with what you do,
Yeah.
and because that can affect my relationship with the kids,
Everything. Absolutely.
everything.
Yep.
I mean, I was not, you talk about me, the person who's just, maybe
Yeah.
infectious, whatever. You want to have a conversation with Rebecca.
Yeah.
Not a thing was infectious about this guy for like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Right. Right.
and I didn't want to be that guy anymore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's great where I am right now.
Yeah, so again, here we go again. Therapy. Every time we talk about, like, I don't know
Yep.
how people do without it. Like, you
Nope.
cannot, if you have heavy stuff and you
Yep.
cannot manage, there are people who are trained to do
If
it.
you're not talking to anybody,
Oh
what are
my
you doing?
gosh. I mean, generationally aside, right? Like I think the generation above us is not going to do it, but like I started at about 30, 31, and when I started to describe, what I was feeling physically,
Sure.
she's like, "Well, that's anxiety. We got to get you on
Yeah.
some meds, right?" So
Yeah.
that changed my life. I'll never leave her. I told her she can't retire. She's so amazing. Um, but I think for a person like us, people like us, right? You have children, so now uh, you have to be a dad first, a
Yeah.
husband, and then all these other things are pulling you: work, your
Right.
boys, your
Right.
family, right?
All
Just
I want
wanting
to
to
be,
be
if I
alone,
could be a millionaire and just be a dad and go
right?
play and
Yep,
whiz footballs at my kids' head all day, that'd be
exactly.
great.
But do you remember the scene in I think it's This Is 40 where Paul Rudd is cheating on his wife, but he's at a fantasy draft?
Yes.
And he's like, honey, I forget who it was, his Asian Matsui.
Oh
I
my
got
God.
Matsui.
Kentucky Matsui.
I got Matsui. That's kind of what it's like. Like you have to
Yes.
find these pockets of time,
Yeah.
but the other stuff that like it doesn't show up on Instagram, like the small moments. Like perfect example. Both my kids today came to my school. My son came in the daytime to help some teachers set up. My daughter came to kindergarten play date and did name tags. Like that's a small moment. I'm not
Yep.
going to put on Instagram, but it
Yep.
makes me so proud. But you have to
Absolutely.
compartmentalize. Yeah, I mean, you have to figure out. And right, I'm going to tell you, and I'll tell Rebecca. You got to figure that out. I mean,
Yeah.
Abby is in the market for babysitting, so
Sure.
I'll put that out there. But like, you
Yeah.
have to do a date night once a month, or a movie
Absolutely.
night, or whatever. And it's hard. You have to prioritize that stuff. And I'm glad to hear you
Yeah.
say that you know it because it's that's how couples kind of go this way.
Well,
They
that's
don't.
and yeah. I mean, Rebecca, we listen. I mean, we weren't. It's like we were, but like, it's just we both talked about how we both. It's so easy to just shut down, and
Yep.
you both think all of a sudden you both hate each other, and you realize it's like, no, man, nothing's wrong. I'm
Nope.
just tired. I hate
Tired.
the
You're
job.
tired.
All this.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
but you just have to. We opened it up. We just,
Yep. I'm so happy
so,
for you. That's such great news. I mean, I'm so
yeah,
happy that you got there.
yeah,
I was saying last week to John, who mentioned therapy. I was like, you can easily shut that down
hmm,
and be like, I'm out, I'm done, I can't. But then that cycle will repeat, and we could do a whole therapy session. I want to get to your hot seat question, but
sure,
I'm happy for you in a lot of ways. I
yeah.
think you're an amazing dad. I think
Thanks, man.
you know how much I feel. I mean, Rebecca was one of my favorites in that amazing
Yeah.
2004
Oh
class.
yeah, and that's what's funny about those poker games we had because you were able to give me the insight. Like every grade, every year, you were like we're
Yeah.
sitting there playing. You're like, oh man, this class though, I loved your class, but this '04 class, like
That
you
'04 class
loved.
was, yeah, I don't mind saying it. And I did back then, but I mean, they were just really
Yeah,
special for a lot of reasons,
sure, yeah,
which is fine. And that's why, like, going to their 20th, and so Casey, Greg, and Dan Rowan and I went to their 20th, and it was just like we had never missed a beat. But that's a different
yeah,
conversation. All right,
yeah,
so I try to cater hot seat questions to the guests, and I have two for you, and I'm going to give you the first one. You can say no.
sure,
These are specific to you.
okay,
So the first one, these are all real hot seat questions, but I kind of go through and try to
sure.
curate. So the first one for you is: do nice guys finish last? Because you are one, and have you? I have my thoughts, but this is your question, not mine.
Yeah, this is. I feel like it's a loaded. It's like a loaded
They're all loaded
questions.
questions, bro.
Yeah, they really
It's
are.
not called the worm seat, dude.
Yeah. Lukewarm seat.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm not really going to say nice guys finish last. I think because I don't know, it's really tough. I mean, because like I've been a nice guy, and it's like just going through my experiences, and I've been Mr. Nice Guy, but also I've known where, um, like I don't know. This is God damn it. That
Man, I
damn your
got
hot
you. I
seat
didn't even
questions.
get you.
It's
Right.
fizzling hot.
I was like, these are layups, right? You're a nice
Yeah,
guy. The second one you would have done well
it
with,
just
but
yeah. I don't. I really don't want to. Yeah, nice guys don't finish last. I'm
they
sorry.
don't finish last. So
They
you
don't.
okay? So let me
They
help you.
don't.
Like I want let's go back to 2002. You're in the hot seat, right? You're
Hmm.
struggling a little bit. I'll help you. Are you one?
Um,
Have you always been one?
the nice guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So you're a nice
be
guy.
nice.
You identify as a nice guy. I agree with you that I think there's no one nicer. That's why I think you're the best Philippi, and I'm not
Yeah,
being sarcastic. I think
yeah,
you're
yeah.
again you're magnetic and you're charismatic and all this stuff, right? Okay. So I agree with you. have you had a series of losses as a result of that niceness
Yeah. I mean,
over time?
honestly, it's funny. I mean, not that, Rebecca will care, but I always felt like being the super nice guy all the time always made me struggle with like girlfriends
Got to the
growing
friend
up.
zone. I agree. I
Always.
Yep,
It was
yep.
always too friendly. And then it was funny because, like, I mean, literally a lot of girls, like, I was friends with or whatever, and my grade would be like, you're so nice. I'm like, what am I supposed to be, a dick? I
Yeah,
don't.
right. But that's the whole psychology that I'm
That's
learning
it,
more about. Yeah,
100%. I'm like, oh, so you want him to hate you,
yeah.
and then you're all right. Well, that's really exhausting. I'd rather have a beer in the woods and drink Natty Light with the boys. That
So
Jesus
that is exhausting. You rather play horseshoes and poker and listen to Pearl Jam than deal with that
sounds
nonsense.
great.
I totally agree.
Yeah, we're in
All
our
right,
40s. This still sounds great.
let me reframe it. All right, so I agree with you. So you're nice the whole time, and
Yeah,
sometimes you finish last.
yeah.
Where do you think you finished? What place have you finished in right now?
So I'm gonna say, like, I do think where nice guy has gotten me places is like, let's just say like Virtua. I've always been a person who, like, there's, you work with hundreds of people in an office. You're gonna get a lot of no's.
Yep.
And people don't know. I just don't feel like bothered. I want to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And me, I'm always been a yes guy.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do it.
Right.
To me, I'm always like saying yes to everything
Right.
only opens up more opportunities for you.
Okay. Okay.
What does saying no do? Nothing. I
Okay.
mean, it only stops you where you're going, and then they'll think, oh, well, he wouldn't want to do that. He doesn't do it anymore. I kept saying yes, and I went from, I left the union. I was there for 10 years. I
Yeah, I
went to
remember.
Virtua,
Yeah.
just working a registrar in the ER,
Right.
but me always saying yes to helping here, yes to helping here, got me a job at the other office, like a billing office, and then being a yes man there, well, they made me a supervisor of the team. So it's like, I felt like, because you know what? There were two other people who I was going against for that job,
Hmm.
and they were 100% more qualified than me.
Okay.
Like
But here's I'm going
college.
to stop you. I don't
Yeah.
think a yes man is the same thing as being who you are, right? I think a
Okay.
yes man is slimy and
Sure. Well, then
manipulative,
I
right?
wouldn't say it's a yes man. I'm not that.
I
Yeah.
know, but you
So,
said yes
yeah,
man. I
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
make sure
So,
we all
yeah, I guess
hear
I'm phrasing
that's
that
not true,
incorrectly.
right?
Right.
Okay.
But it was always being the night. Like, everyone's like, it was me being like, yeah, of course I'll help. I mean,
Right.
that's how
Right.
I want. I'm genuinely being, I'm not just saying
Yeah.
yes for,
Yeah.
oh, like,
Right.
I genuinely want to do this because
Right.
honestly, again, here's the ADHD kicking in. If I start doing a job for so long, I get bored if it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Right.
So if we're doing the billing and the claims, it's monotonous. It's the same thing over and over.
Right.
So if there's new things to learn, like, yes, give me it. I want to do
Yeah.
something else.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's how I am.
So here's the last piece of this, which I was hoping to get to, which is if
Hmm.
we're going to talk about nice guys and the alternative is a dick or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Who would pick that? Why would anybody who's not like a politician or somebody who has like just this ambition
Yeah.
that supersedes human relationships, why would anybody like
I,
if I've been called a nice guy too, not always, but I have been.
sure.
It's like, okay. I mean, like,
Yeah.
would you rather Mike? Here's a perfect example, right? When we go out in town with me and my kids, we
Hmm.
always see somebody I know, right? So
Sure.
it's
That,
Audubon or Collins, would have
of
houses, right?
course. Yeah.
And, you know, my, my daughter would be like, oh, God, every single time. And I'm like, honey, would you rather people cross the street or roll their eyes or stop and say your dad's a jerk? Like, your
Oh
dad's
my God.
like, what are the, and I mean, obviously gets it, but she's a teenager
Yeah.
and I understand. But the alternative is awful. Like I would never ever trade the way, especially you're way nicer than I am, but the way you are for what? I don't understand the alternative.
That to
So
me, and I don't know, to me, I'm just like, isn't it rewarding when you see somebody from, like, here's the thing. You know what? Another thing from your night, your book signing.
yeah,
I sat at a table with Chris Prue,
yep,
Steve Kloon,
yep,
and Bobby Baumgartner.
yeah, yeah.
Wow,
That's
what
the
a group!
collection.
Like, what? Like, and
Yeah,
I'm just,
yeah,
but I like the fact is we were there.
yep,
I didn't feel any sort of unwelcomeness coming to sit down with them, and we were all just having laughs about
Yep.
stupid crap. Like Crew's
Yep.
like, "Yeah, I broke your mom's rear view mirror," and I'm like, "I don't even remember this, but she probably
Right.
tried to get money from you." Like,
That's so funny. Yeah. Right. That's
but
what I'm saying. Like,
that
or it's 20 years later and you're sitting by yourself because like this guy's a jerk. I don't
it's
want to hang out with this guy.
it's so
Right.
exhausting to
Right.
like, yeah, like
I
yeah,
get
it's
it. Yeah.
and I hope. I mean, if there's some other people that might be like, "Oh God, Flippy's here," hey, whatever. But
Yeah.
genuinely, I mean, when I'm going around, I'm pretty sure you feel it too. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Rebecca, we make the joke. Her dad, we go anywhere. We've been to Disney World countless amount of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her dad sees someone every time we're in Florida.
Right.
Like, but I'm like, yeah, but they're always saying nice. I'm like, you might talk bad about your dad, but
Yeah.
guess what?
It's true.
Everywhere he goes, it's
Yep.
hey, Toke.
Right. It's true. That's what I'm saying. So I'm glad that you answered the question. It was an easy question for me to identify for you because you are one.
Hmm.
But I think the psychology behind a nice guy is so misguided, especially with like the Andrew Tates and this like toxic masculinity. Like I don't get those guys. My son and I were talking about this before a little while ago. Like that's really really bad. Like this is not normal.
It's not negative. And by the way, like first of all, even this is you knew me from like I was never even before kids, and yet alone with kids. Why would I want to be negative? Be
Right.
so
Right.
like you're watching the news and start yelling out stuff like.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
the like be positive around the kids. Is it that
Yeah.
hard? Your kids are
Yeah.
probably going to grow up more positive for that reason.
Well, that was the question earlier. I forget. I think it was Karis. One of the questions is, will your kids have a better life than you? That's our number one goal. Our number one goal as parents is to
100%.
make our children have a better life than we had in whatever way we can.
Yeah.
And one way to not do that is be a jerk off, right? Is to not
I mean,
is
number
to
one
repel
rule:
people, right? Right. That's
respect
what I'm saying.
people.
Like there's repulsion, but then there's also magneticism, which I think is why you're such a perfect example on this. This is why I knew this show would go this way because of who you are. But like, I struggle with things I don't get, and I do not get going out of your way to treat people poorly. Right. I never really thought about it the way you said it, which is like everywhere you go with your girls is an example. Every single interaction you have with other human beings with your
Yeah.
girls is an example of them of how to
Right.
be or how not to be.
Right.
And you're setting the example as with Rebecca with how to do that properly. And that all started by being a nice guy at
Right.
14, right? So
Right.
like, I wouldn't trade it for anything, and
Yeah, I
neither should
wouldn't trade a
you.
thing. And you know what?
Yeah.
Being a nice guy. Guess what? I ended up getting my wife who
Yep.
likes the nice guy. And guess
Yeah. Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Right.
Didn't
Right.
finish last there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Exactly. Right. Right. And that's
So
another like we'll end on this. What does that even mean? Finishing last in what? Like
yeah, I don't.
to not get a vapid partner who just like
Yeah,
or to not get the promotion because you didn't jump over people to get there. Like I don't know, man. I think living this way is the appropriate way to be,
yeah,
especially as dads. You're going to get to where I am. We're talking 16 and 12. Like you're going to get there pretty soon.
sure,
It's even more important that like
right,
you set an example with how you talk to people, how you talk
sure,
to waitresses, how you talk to elderly people, how you
right,
pet the dog. All that
sure,
stuff is important. So like
sure.
mean people don't do that.
I
Like
mean,
that's
listen, my last job was part of my job. It was we had a lot of drug reps coming in, a lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everybody. The person who was there before me, people weren't very comfortable going to her.
Right.
And then, there was a nurse, people weren't going comfortable. But every single time people wanted my number
Yep.
to contact me
Yep.
to be able to, okay, because that's
Of
what
how
I
you treated
projected
them.
against them. That everyone
Right.
wants, and but then the office did not like that. It's not. I'm like, it's like, all right, you're not allowing me now to be myself, and now I
Right.
can't I can't. I'm not even like standing up for what I work for.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't even
Yep.
believe
Yep.
what I do anymore.
Yep. Yep.
Because if I will continue to be myself, and you're going to bash me, then
You're out.
I'm
I'm
mentally
out.
out,
I'm out. Yep.
done.
Totally out. I totally agree. Um, I don't know, man. We could keep going. This has been the
Of
longest
course,
episode we've had. You know how much I
not
love you.
shocking.
You're one of my favorite people in the world. I mean, we have
Ditto, man.
stories to tell that we have not done on here,
Yeah.
but I usually end each episode with just, is there anything else you want to add or shout out
No,
before we wrap
you know
up?
what? I mean, honestly, I never really got to say much, but like you as a teacher, not one. You're the best, man, and that's because you innovated a game. Like you knew teaching is teaching, but and I think you yourself, I think that's your ADHDs. You were like, I think you would have gotten bored doing a same routine
Yeah,
for
for
30
sure.
plus years.
For sure. Yeah.
And you've really changed the game. And obviously you've gone on the way, but like you were just like, you made me love English. You made me love Shakespeare, which is absolutely impossible.
The Hamilton, I'll never forget it, man. It was
And I
amazing.
mean, I had so much fun. But like, a lot of the things that you teach in that class, you were one of the very, very, very few teachers who really truly prepped people for like real life. No one,
I
no,
appreciate
like,
that. Yeah.
you prepped me, and it was like, and again, the best part about it was that you always had that door open to any students, but like,
Sure.
it was like, I just knew, and it was like, I mean, first of all, I could see you probably 4 weeks after I graduated and say, hey, but
4 weeks, 4 days, maybe. Yeah.
maybe like the week after, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, it's just one of those things where it, like, is one of those things like you always could have been there. You are like a brother to me.
Yeah,
There's no
I
doubt about it.
totally
And I
agree,
think
Rock.
that's where Lou, my brother, he always had, for a while, he had a little bit of a difficult time because you and I were hanging
I
out
totally agree.
when he got married, and you knew
Yep.
that, I knew that.
Yep.
But what he didn't understand, it was not like me just hanging out with you because, cool act is cool. Like it
Yeah.
was. I mean, we're not cool by any
No,
means.
no,
So
not by no means.
no. So it was just the fact. This is like no. Like there's a real different relationship there, Lou. Like he
Yeah.
taught me. It's. I mean,
But right, think about it this way, bro. Like I, I didn't have a little brother because he was wrapped up in his thing, right? So like
Yep.
I
And
think
there
that's
was
what I
that. Yeah.
saw in you, right? So I mean, you feel, and then after you it was Noel. You know how close
Yeah.
Noel and
You're
I. I
like,
mean, I'll do anything for that guy. He's one of
no,
my
it's
favorite
great.
people in the world, right? Like he became the next you because you had
Yeah.
moved on. But like, I think that the reason that what you say resonates and why we're here we are. This is what is
Hmm.
this? So we're talking 23 years later. Now, you and I, it's not the same thing. But
No.
these people who keep coming on the show Thursday after Thursday and are like
Yeah.
booked out for so long, if social media we didn't know was going to be a thing, but like I'm so thankful that we have this medium to talk through these things and like
Yeah.
these people hopping on just to hear about our journey. It's just so cool. So I want to wrap with we have some stuff planned coming up with the fellas.
Yeah.
So we're going to be on that. You're in my brain now to always.
Yeah. Just do
Yeah,
it, man.
I will, and don't feel compelled. I want Rebecca to make sure.
Yeah.
I don't want her to think we're pulling your way, but we do
No.
need some more ride guy time for sure, bro.
Hey, if she knows I'm going, you guys, she'll have no problem with that. So
Say hello to her. Say hello to the
I will.
girls. Thanks for
I
coming on,
will.
man. I really appreciate it, man. Love
I
you.
appreciate you, man.
All right, dude.
All
See ya.
right, take it easy.
All right, man.
See ya.
All right, hot seaters. Thanks for tuning in. Before you go, here's how to stay connected. Follow me on Instagram at Brian_Kulak. Check out more resources on my blog over at briankulak.net. Pick up a copy of The Hot Seat or my other book, Level Up Leadership, both available now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And please, if you found value in today's conversation, leave us a rating and a review. It truly helps others discover these stories. Share this episode with someone in your life, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another conversation in The Hot Seat.